Oh yeah.
All right. Hi, this is Megan from the DVC Trip Report Podcast. And this morning I'm talking to Corey and Miranda. Thank you guys for being here and chatting with me.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us. We're so excited.
So excited. So tell me a little bit about your, why you are DVC members. When did you join? Had you been going to Disney before that? What's your story?
You want me to start? So I grew up going to Disney like every other year. I was a competitive dancer. So one year would be Disney, the other year would be Dance Nationals. And it was just always the place that my family went back to. So I think I'd been like 12 times before we got married. And then we got married and ended up honeymooning at Disney. We did a delayed honeymoon. I was in pharmacy school and Corey was a teacher at the time. So Corey decided, wait, this Disney thing's actually kind of fun. He'd only been twice before that. And so we went on our honeymoon and then COVID happened. And then we went back for like a couple just like quick weekend trips while I was a pharmacy resident. And we just kept saying like, someday we'll buy DVC. Someday we'll buy DVC. And for Corey's birthday, we stayed at Riviera.
Ooh.
Yes.
I do like that. I haven't been there yet.
Oh, well, Riviera is our home resort. So it is 100% my absolute favorite. We have several other things we love about other properties. A couple of things I love about Riviera, especially coming from the perspective of like taking a family. Riviera is a bit more compact. It's quaint. It's kind of calm and quiet. But we can talk about it later too. So we stayed in the tower suites there at Riviera, where it's literally just like you walk in, you have your Murphy bed in the bathroom and the balcony. We stayed there for 2 nights. And I think we were sitting by the pool one day and Corey was like, yeah, I like this pool and I like where it is. And I think we need to buy points here. And so we, on the next trip, decided to do like an official DVC tour. And I had already been doing a ton of research of resale versus direct, which I think is always a fun conversation to have. And so we were already setting aside money for Disney Vacation Club in an account because we knew we wanted it to happen someday. But then Riviera gave really good deals and we bought in 2020.
A year and a half.
Yeah, 2022 is when we bought our DVC in March.
So you ended up doing
right over here.
Direct, which
we ended up doing direct. And part of the reason is because we do have annual passes. And so the discount for the annual pass was like, so just give a little bit of perspective. When we first bought our annual passes, I think they were $1,400 a person. That's for the Incredipass Pass since we're out of state and live in North Carolina. Since we were DVC members, we went down a level to the Sorcerer Pass. Only blackout dates were Thanksgiving and Christmas, which we don't really travel during that time anyways. And I think we renewed both passes for like $1,700.
Wow.
So it was like, okay, well, that's not bad. So we ended up doing direct. The perks are not for everybody, but I love the blue. I think they call them like the blue card member perks. Like,
yes.
So I enjoy stuff like that. I think in the future we'll add on resale though. But when we talk about Riviera, we can talk more about why we chose direct too, because Riviera is probably our favorite resort, and with it having its restrictions, it made it easier.
Yeah. So because when you buy Riviera resale, you can only use the points there, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm. And if you buy any other resort, you cannot use the points at Riviera.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So buying Riviera direct, you're able to use those points wherever you want. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like the traditional, how it was before Riviera came about. And some people, there's a lot of discussion, and we did a lot of research of whether Riviera was a bad buy because a lot of people think it's going to lose its resale value because you can only use it at Riviera.
Oh,
But people who love Riviera, like really, really love Riviera. So they're like, if I only stay at Riviera, that's fine with me. And I feel like I could be one of those people. You also like love Riviera.
Yeah, we'll talk about all the perks about.
Tell me about Riviera.
Okay, so I will tell you from my perspective. I'm, of course, her husband. So whatever she likes, I like. That tends to happen some, but Riviera, we went for my birthday and I absolutely love it. I love Disney because I love all the little things that you can do away from the parks.
Mm-hmm.
And Riviera has a coffee shop, which I absolutely love coffee. We're drinking coffee this morning.
Yes. Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers to
that. Oh, chips. So cute.
Yeah. This is my good.
And so
I got waffles.
And so they got a little coffee shop downstairs in the lobby. The lobby's quaint, it's small. Everybody's like, why is it? It's not big, it's not big like Wilderness Lodge or like in any other places. Well, the reason for that is it's like they want this like small, quaint kind of resort to where you kind of you don't feel like you're in an overly themed resort. So you walk in, small, quaint, feels like we're just home. Because that's like what I like, is small and quaint. And then they have a little boutique, which is the shop and everything like that.
Which is like the smallest shop on Disney, but 100% the best stocked.
Oh,
the cast
I have
members
to go there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's one of the perks I like. Also, they have Primo Piatto, which has the best chicken sandwich on property. It is the best. I actually had it I flew in Friday this past weekend and she was already there and she's like, I got you the chicken sandwich. It's like, yes, sir. The best chicken sandwich on property there. Also it has Bar Riva, which is outside, which is a little pool bar that we'll go sit and watch, sports at if we want to do that or hang out. They got Topolino's, which is one of the best character breakfasts on property. I think it's probably the best. There are a couple other ones that probably are up there with it. And then the one thing that sold me a lot, well, there's two, is first the pool, the quiet pool, which I like the family pool, the kids pool and all that stuff. It's not overly loud. It's great. Great for families and stuff like that. But the quiet pool is literally always quiet. It's an overflow pool, so there's no edge to it. So it looks like the water's in the same as the ground. So that's one of the reasons why I love it. I fell asleep there on the first time for like 2 hours, and I said, okay, let's buy her because it's great.
Well, and you're just like sitting there watching the Skyliner pass. Like it is the most peaceful place. And
that's one of the ones we always, if we say we're out of points, we'll probably stay near the Skyliner. So that's the main reason why we did do it, is it's got its own Skyliner stop.
It's so great.
Yeah.
And it is like for families, it's fantastic because you can go walk over to Caribbean, eat dinner. You can go take the Skyliner to Epcot, Hollywood Studios, to the other Skyliner resorts too, if you want to see those. Or you could just, cruise on a Skyliner up and down and not even have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the reason why I love Riviera and why we bought there. So
I have one more thing.
Go ahead.
I love how compact Riviera is. So Polly, I think, is our number 2 favorite DVC resort. And I love Polly, but I do not love running to my room in the rain. And so Riviera is literally one big building and you can walk from one end to the other in less than 5 minutes. So I think it's super convenient. And that was one thing we talked about. We don't have kids yet. So if we do have kids, we're there in the summer during a thunderstorm. I don't want to have to go put on a poncho to go to the quick service restaurant to grab some food. It's literally all right there. It's all compact. It's interior. It's just it. And
I'll give you perspective. So I left my magic band in the gym this one night, and so I go up and I'm like, Miranda, I left my watch in the gym. I said, Miranda, I left my watch in the gym. I got to go down and get it. So it's 12 o'clock at night, and I went from the room down to the gym and got back to the room in less than probably a minute and a half, probably 90 seconds.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I know you're making me really want to stay there.
At least if you don't stay there, at least go just like experience the property. It is beautiful. They have the mosaic tiles over on the way to the Skyliner. It's a different Disney property. Some people don't love it because it's not over the top thing, but it is just like that little like quaint hideaway that we need after a busy day at the park.
So go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, having things closer is nice. We love Animal Kingdom and we stay there a lot, but that's so spread out.
Yes.
You know, you can be so far from the lobby where your room is that it takes 10 minutes to get there. So
yes,
if you forget something in your room, it really takes a while to go back. So that's a really good point. No, that is on our list. My daughter's dying to stay there. Whenever we see it on the Skyliner, she's like, I'm gonna stay at Riviera.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, okay, well, I noticed you guys, so are you both travel agents or one of you?
Just me.
Nope. She is. She's a pharmacist by day and a travel agent by night. And I'm actually in fire schools and Concord Fire Department here in Charlotte.
Oh, nice.
So I'm a firefighter EMT.
Yeah.
Curious about are you mostly planning Disney trips or any kind of trips?
Great question. So I work for an agency called 101 Vacations Travel Agency. It's actually based here out of Charlotte, but we have ladies from really all over the nation. And it's a smaller agency, which I love. And I do a ton of Disney because that is what people know me for. And so even before I became a travel agent, people were always reaching out saying, hey, I know you go to Disney a lot. Can you help me with some tips and help me plan my vacation? And I've honestly always loved doing it. Like I am the spreadsheet queen. I love making detailed documents of, what are the best things to do in what order. We made like an entire spreadsheet for our honeymoon. And so, like he said, I'm an oncology pharmacist by day, and I love my job, but it can be very stressful. And I needed also like an escape when I came home. And so, of course, Disney's my happy place. So I want to share that magic with other people. And so I decided to join an agency. And so the majority of what I do is Disney. But what happens though is people will use me for Disney and say, oh, so do you do Europe or do you do a cruise or an all-inclusive? So a lot of stuff starts at Disney and then kind of branches out after that. So I do everything.
That's great. You'll have to give me all your contact info and I'll link it here so people
can
you.
Awesome.
That's great. I also noticed that you guys are one of you, I'm not sure who, is gluten free. And okay, so
she's the one that's all of it. I'm just here.
I love that because I am a vegan. And so I'm always thinking when I'm at Disney, like, I should start a vegan eating at Disney thing because it can be tricky. So I'm curious with gluten free, like, what are your tips? What are your favorite places to dine? What's that like being gluten free in Disney?
A lot of people always ask me, they're like, why do you go to Disney so much? And I'm like, because I can eat like a normal person and I don't get charged extra right and left for added skin for a gluten-free bun and stuff. Allergies at Disney are so easy, whether it's a dining, table service dining where I can put in on the app that I have a gluten allergy, server comes right up. Oh, I see you have a gluten allergy. Let's review the menu. Do you want me to bring out a chef? Like those, they are so careful. And then quick service, I love mobile ordering. So there's always a section that has your gluten-free offerings. I've never had issues really anywhere with ordering gluten-free. If there's something I really want, I can ask them like, oh, hey, are you able to modify this to be gluten-free? I don't think I've ever been told no. So I love eating at Disney because I feel comfortable. And so I don't have celiac disease. So mine is actually a wheat allergy. So I have anaphylaxis to wheat. So my reaction looks a bit different. But I think on not our last trip, but the trip before, Corey decided he liked the gluten-free waffles better than he did the normal waffles.
I tell you, I eat everything.
Yeah.
And I would go there and eat the gluten-free bread, the gluten-free waffles, all that before I eat the regular waffles, because those are better. And then my favorite meal is at Topolino's and at El Encompass, their breakfast. I will get their vegan breakfast.
Yeah.
And I eat meat and I eat all that, but like, I think actually that tastes a lot like it and it tastes better. And it's like very, very, very good.
Yeah.
Like, so their take on allergies and
special diets,
special diets is top 10, like 10 out of 10. It's they take good care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And they like, you can see it in their faces. They'll get a chef to come out and the chef will go over with you, even if it's something simple.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're apologetic, but they're like, we're like, we get it. We want you, they accommodate to you, to whatever you have. So, that's why I like, that way she could eat a fried chicken. Since you feel normal.
Everything the best. That's so great.
What's our favorite places? Okay, number one. Let's choose three.
There's a lot.
I have two in mind. Maybe all three. Nomad Lounge. Have you ever ate there?
No, but that's on my list.
Okay. Nomad Lounge. 1, gluten-free churros. 2, they have one of the most gluten-friendly just like menus where most things are gluten-free automatically, but they can modify basically anything. But they also have Impossible meat. And so we've had the Impossible meat
and
too.
It's delicious.
So good. Nomad Lounge, you'll notice a theme with us. We love the parks. We love the craziness of the rides. And then we want to retreat and find like a quiet, relaxing spot. That's Nomad Lounge. It's on the river right there by Pandora. You get to watch the flotillas of the characters come by. So we love that.
Our favorite waiter is there.
Yeah, our favorite bartender's there. So he makes the best drinks and we love seeing him. So Nomad Lounge, we love. Sebastian's Bistro. Have you ate there?
No, that's at Caribbean Beach, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And so we went with our friends. So this last trip was with our friends and their 3-year-old. It was there for everybody's first time. And our friend's husband's name is Thomas, and he used to play college football. So he's a big boy. And so I told him, I was like, you're going to like Sebastian's. It's family style. It's all you can eat. But that is one of those places that we go where every time it's just so good and filling, but it's healthy. And that's enough. We love healthy food. He's also a CrossFit coach. So we normally get a workout in on vacation, all that stuff. So
they do have a gym at Riviera. So
they got a good gym at Riviera. But the food there is always so fresh, so good. I love family style because you can just sit and relax and not have to be running back and forth to a buffet, which is also so great with kids. It's like, no, it all comes to you.
Yes.
It's Caribbean. Mm-hmm. So it's you got your meats and your vegetables and stuff like that. So it's more of that Caribbean style food.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty spot too, isn't it? Right by the water.
Oh, it's gorgeous. We were able to watch the fireworks from there at Epcot. Yeah. We were sitting by the window and could watch the fireworks.
Yeah, you can watch the fireworks there, and so that's two of our favorites. That's definitely my top 2 favorites. I would think Sebastian's is one of my all time. What was your third?
I have a tie for number 3. Sanaa at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Oh yes, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
one of mine.
Raglan Road, because I can actually eat fried fish and chips. And so, like I said, I was a dancer. So like watching them dance during dinner, I am having the best time.
Yeah.
I totally agree. It's so fun there.
Yeah, it is a blast.
I mean, it's basically dinner and a show, and it's not, you're like not paying the price for a dinner and a show, which I think is really cool. And then
Those three.
I was going to say Boathouse. Boathouse does allergies very, very well. Have you ate there?
No, but it's funny. A lot of these places you're mentioning are on my list, and I know what my next trip is going to be.
Well, I can tell you like all of them.
Riviera, Sebastian's.
There you go.
Well, I can tell you all of them do a fantastic job with allergies or with special diet needs. And every single one of them, we have got the top of the line service.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we know we have fell in love with a waiter at Nomad, and we'll text him and say, "Hey, we're here," and he'll put us on the wait list.
Yeah.
Oh, so nice.
Because and then he gave me a hug. He's like, "I haven't seen you. I seen her a couple of times before you came down. Now I get to see you." And he gave me a hug and everything. And then my other favorite waiter is part-time at Sebastian's.
Yeah.
So you just get great top of the line service with every single one of them. And they take really good care of you, whatever needs that you have. So
nice.
We could go on and on about restaurants, but that was.
Sebastian's also has, so like we talked about the meat, but they also have a plant eaters tray.
Oh, yes.
So it's all plant-based.
Yes.
So I think it has some Impossible meat and stuff, but I think it has other stuff.
Yes.
We haven't tried it, but
I would like that.
They have two selections. So you got your meat or Caribbean meat, and then you got your plant-based Caribbean meat. So they accommodate to that. So it's not just, well, I gotta eat vegetables here, that's it. No, you could actually eat more and get your fulfillment of some protein and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's great. So how do you guys think you're going to use your DVC membership? You joined a couple years ago. Do you think you're going to go like multiple times a year, once a year?
Good question. Because she would love to answer, but I like to answer this one. So I'll be a full-time firefighter in November after school.
Congratulations.
So thank you. And we work 24 hours and then we're off 48 hours. So I technically work 10 days a month, and then I can trade and do all that stuff. I can have a lot of time off. And we want to use our DVC and our trips down. We want to go, multiple times a year. We're going down, for research for her business and our Instagram and our YouTube. Like, we want to go down for some research and stuff like that. But also it's just like our happy place. Like, I lived overseas in Bulgaria. I've been overseas. I find that going to Disney, everybody's like, why do you just go to Florida all the time? I was like, well, Disney it is like relaxation. I get away from the world, and I just, like, in my mind, I'm there. I'm going to relax, have fun. I know what they have to offer. So we're going to go down multiple times a month. I think our main reason for DVC, that buying into it, is to actually take our friends and take our parents to give back to other people, to show the love for Disney that we have. If we have kids, to have them in the mix and to actually pass it down. So Miranda's taking her mom on a mother's daughters trip.
Oh, so nice.
To Riviera. So Corey stayed back. Sad time.
I came home with so many presents for him. I looked like Santa Claus.
We'll send you a picture later.
I'll send you a picture.
So there's that. I crashed the girls' trip, and I went and golfed. She took two of her best friends down and stayed at Grand Floridian.
Oh, fun.
And then we took our friends this time with their little one, 3 years old, for the first time.
What were we celebrating?
So one of the reasons, and I told you this before, is she was in the foster care system. She was in the foster care system from how many months or how many days?
She was in the foster care system for 4 months.
For 4 months, and they finally got to adopt her. So it was their year anniversary of adoption.
Yeah.
And so we said we want to gift you. You don't have to pay. Stay, just pay your travel down there and your parks, and we'll take her to Disney. And so we took them all.
Sweet.
They went last Wednesday, and then I joined them on Friday since I was in school. And it was a blast.
She must have loved it. That's
She
such a
had,
great
and she keeps talking about it all the time. So that's kind of why we want to do it. And I have nieces and nephews. And then we also have, other friends. We're actually going, we were going to go this fall, and we always do spontaneous trips. So we always just be like, oh yeah, let's go, So we're going in May for sure to Riviera, and we're trying to get, people to come with us. We're also trying to get people to come with us on a cruise next July.
Oh, fun. Come with us.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
We want people to join in on the fun. Of course, she's my wife. I love her. We love being together. It's hard when she goes with by herself or with other people, because she's like, I wish you were here. Like, it's not the same, like stuff like that. So, but we love to do it with other people. And we went on the cruise last year, and we met some people. We hung out with them probably the whole time, and just kind of experienced I'm gonna say cliche, the magic with each other. So that's kind of why, and that's kind of how we're going to use it in the future. I know it's a long story, but
I love that. That's a great story.
Yeah.
So good. So when you guys go, are you planners, or do you just kind of go and do what you feel like doing? Like, how much do you plan ahead of time?
I'll let her talk about it planning, but she's more the planner.
Yeah.
When we first went, she had a spreadsheet on our honeymoon, and now we're like, I'm kind of more of the, let me see what I want to do when I get down there.
Yeah.
And she's like, you want to go here? Yeah, sure. Oh, we can change it. So we'll make, the reservations, but then they probably will change when we get down there. But like, I'm more of the go with the flow. Like, I definitely want to do what I want to, accomplish, but I really don't have a whole long list of accomplishments. I just want to be down there. So whatever it is.
I feel like each trip is a little bit different. So we'll say, all right, what is and we try to establish before we get there, what is your goal for this trip and what is my goal? And then where do we meet?
Well, my goal is always to eat and drink.
Yes,
so
that's always Corey's. Some trips we love to hit the parks hard, like rope drop, do Genie Plus. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to walk around Animal Kingdom with a Joffrey's in my hand, and like, that's it. And so it really depends. And then we have to be very intentional about setting aside, like, oh, we're going to go back to the resort to experience the pool, or do s'mores, or do Moon of the Stars, which is one of Corey's favorite things. It's like the little things like that one, I feel like you can completely forget about if you're stuck in the park. But two, those are some of my favorite things about the Disney resorts. It's the extra little things. And so we normally either like plan to relax or plan to do the parks hard. And then we kind of like meet in the middle. But yeah, I'd say we're the planner type though, for sure.
That's one of the things I love about DVC though, since you're going back, it takes the pressure off. Yeah. Like feeling like you have to do everything in one trip.
Because we thought our honeymoon would be the only trip. And we're like, oh, we got to do everything. Yes. And of course, like, that was the first trip with us together. So yeah, we're going to do everything. We're going to get up and do all that stuff. But now it's like, it kind of takes the pressure off, because I know that we're going to go back and we're going to experience other things, other new things that pop up.
So there's always new things. So keep going.
Like with y'all's points, do you typically Well, two questions. What is your home resort? And then do y'all typically just book 11 months out and are like, all right, this is what we're doing? Or how do y'all do yours?
That's a good question. Our home is Poly,
Oh,
and
fun. That's where we're looking to buy next. That's our second.
we love it there, but we've only stayed there once. And actually it wasn't for, we bought our points and then it wasn't for like 3 or 4 years that we stayed there.
Mhm.
We really, we first stayed at Animal Kingdom, and I think that's probably our favorite.
Mhm.
But we're trying to stay at a lot of the different resorts now. But it's funny because one of my questions for you is going to be, like, are there favorite things you feel like you have to do every trip? Because that's where we're at, where we've got a bunch of favorite things that we really want to do every time. And so we're trying to do some new things too, but it's like, you don't want to miss out on your favorite thing. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would answer that. I'd answer it because there's some things that I have to do there.
Mhm.
He definitely does.
There and we'll do those things. And once like this past trip, Nomad Lounge,
Yes.
I had to have a Congolese beer, which is the best beer on property, by far. And it's only sold at Nomad and
The lounge right in Africa, and then Polynesian Resort.
in Polynesia. No.
Oh no, Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. I was about to say that's
Sorry.
Hawaiian. No, so it's sold at a couple places in Disney. It's made for Disney. So it's the best beer. So I have to get that. By far, that's my number one spot. And then I have to go to,
he's a beer person. So.
okay. So
yeah.
we'll get along because that's what I love. And then I have to go get a coffee at La Petite Cafe in Riviera, of course.
Okay.
So that's my top two that's hands down has to do. No questions asked.
Do you like coffee, or are you more of a tea person?
I'm a tea person.
I have tea.
My tea here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do have hot tea.
They do have a lot of
Yeah.
teas.
That cafe is just the cutest.
So I think those two are the must-dos. Parks, there's a lot of things to do in the parks, but I think one of the must-dos that we want to do every time, that I didn't get to do this last time because I didn't get to go to Magic Kingdom, was People Mover.
Oh yes.
So we have to do that regards to rides and Space Mountain. We'll rope drop Space before anything. So we'll do those. And then I think mainly that's pretty much my must-dos. I have some, but they're not I can live without, but I cannot live without those two places that I said. So we'll do those, but I'm more of a person I want to try all the new stuff. And we'll try the new. We'll have a game plan before going down. We have a list on our refrigerator of new places that we want to hit. So it goes down a list, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna go here next trip.
Yeah.
We're gonna go down the list, and so our next trip when we go is Abracadabra. So we'll do. We'll go down the list.
We like a mix of traditional stuff. And I'd say my one must do, I'm a people mover person as well. But also I have to Dole Whip at some point. If I didn't get a Dole Whip, it just wasn't a Disney trip.
Or churros.
Yeah. Or Nomad churros.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the idea of putting the list on the fridge. I'm going to start that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and it's her idea. So because she's more of that type A type personality. I'm like, well, I'm a free. Let's go and do whatever I please, type deal. But she'll make a list on her phone of new things that we tried or new things that we want to do.
Disney's just so big, and there's so much to do that when you get there, you get distracted, and it's wait, which way do I want to go? Whereas if I have no, we're making time to do this trip.
And I think one of the ones that makes me go back trip after trip. And one of the things that I love, and that's a must do, is cast compliments.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big supporter of cast compliments. So I love saying hey to the cast members, because I'll say, hey, how are you to the cast members? Good morning. and it would be like a light shine on their face. Like, well, good morning. And because they don't get that a lot from people. People just walk straight by them and they're like, come on, 2, come on, 3. And then you're like, good morning. Well, good morning to you too. It's like a perk. They perked up. So a lot of people that deal with us, like this last time, the guy who's at La Petite Cafe, I was like, what's your name? Oh, Jordan. Okay. Where are you from, Jordan? Oh, he's from this. I said, okay. And I'm typing on my phone because I'll do the cast conference right then and there. I'm like, I'm giving you a cast compliment right now. And they're like, oh, thank you. Like, oh, because it deals with their promotions and things like that. So I really want to kind of give to them because they're the ones who make it.
Yeah.
And not many people think that they do. They have a tough job dealing with all these people coming in. So that's one of my like nostalgic things that I look forward to going back to. Because in the airport, you're like, this service stinks. Like,
we compare everything to Disney.
It's so true. We've been joking for a while because like when my kids were little, I was amazed. I'm still amazed, but like the bathrooms are so clean. And when you're taking like a little kid to the bathroom, it makes such a difference, and then you get to the airport and it's like, oh God.
Even like
not Disney anymore.
No. Well, even
I was gonna say the bathrooms at Riviera. This just popped in my head. There's single, and there's 2 single bathrooms, and one family bathroom right outside the quiet pool.
Oh yeah.
And it is by far clutch because you don't have a lot of people going in. You use your magic band to get in.
Oh yeah.
That's another. Sorry, go ahead.
But those little things make such a big difference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Your experience, like overall, like how you feel during the day, and it's so great.
Well, even like we keep talking about this last trip with our friends. I just love seeing people experience it for the first time, especially Thomas, the dad. He was like, I'm just going for our daughter. Like he wasn't very excited. I was like, oh no, by the end of this trip, you will be converted. I promise you're going to love it. And he was like, I don't know. Like, I don't really do theme parks, stuff like that. Well, the little girl, Nina, we got her a aerial bubble wand. 48 hours later, of course, the motor doesn't work anymore. And so Annie, my friend, she was like, I wish we could like exchange it. And I was like, well, just ask them. And she was like, can you do it? I don't like confrontation. And I was like, yes, like they're literally so nice though. And so I just asked at the counter, we were at Epcot and Creations. And I was like, hey, like we bought this 24 hours ago or 48 hours ago. We still have the tag. It was working. And now all of a sudden the motor won't turn. And she was like, oh, did you pick up another one? And I was like, oh yeah, we have it right here. We can buy it or whatever. And she was like, oh no, just take that one. Consider it a switch. And we were like, all right. And my friend looked at me and she goes, that really is the magic of Disney. And I was like, yes.
And I dropped a coffee on the last day. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go back and ask them and say, hey, I dropped my coffee. And they're like, oh yeah. We'll make another one. I was like, I'll pay for it. They're like, no, we'll make it.
Even like, I'm not going into details of this trip because our trip before this was at the end of April, beginning of May. We both ended up with the stomach bug.
Oh no. Oh,
it was terrible.
But I got to sleep in Polly's room for all day. So
yeah, I sat by the pool eating a lime Dole Whip with a shot of tequila. He was in the room. But they were so nice because we were switching resorts from Animal Kingdom Lodge to Polly. And I told him, I was like, y'all, I don't know if we can leave. Like that was when he was sick. And they were like, stay in your room. It was like after 11:30. They were like, stay in your room. We'll call Polynesian. Let's see if we can get your room ready early there. We'll call you back. And like, they were so helpful. They brought us up Gatorade and stuff. Like they're great. So yeah.
Like I'm talking like a 6-pack of Gatorade.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah. How old are your kids?
My daughter is 8 and my son is 13.
Oh, so those are fun ages for Disney too.
It's really fun. Our first trip was when my son was 3.
Oh, wow.
We just went for 2 nights. It was like I tacked it onto a work trip I had to do like somewhere else in Florida. And I thought, oh my gosh, there's so much to do, like we got back. And then when we went back, and that time we stayed at Animal Kingdom and we loved it so much. But then when we were going to go for a longer trip, I thought, I wonder what the difference would be if we joined DVC, like the cost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so we joined.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So what year did y'all join then?
I guess that was like around, my daughter was born in 2014 and we went before she was 1, so like 2015, around there.
Yeah.
And I think it's like the best money that we've ever spent. We
I wish we bought earlier, but it is the best money, I think, because literally you can go and all you do is pay for trip and food, and everything else like annual pass and all that stuff. Yeah. That's kind of how we can go, is a lot of these things are already paid for.
Do y'all have annual passes too, since you're in New York?
No, because we usually go like 1 trip a year. Since we missed like a trip in COVID, we had extra points, and then we did like 3 trips within a year.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. So like, do you add on points? Like, how do you
If y'all's resell direct, or did you buy resell?
We bought direct. Yeah,
Okay.
we bought direct. So yeah, I know. I like having that blue card too, now that they've got some of these perks. Have you guys been up to that member lounge?
Yep.
How did you like it?
That's the one in Epcot, correct?
Or
The one,
The villains.
the villain one at the Field Tower.
So we've been there. We were going to go there the first time. It poured down rain, and I was like, we're going. This is after the cruise, and I was like, no matter if we have to walk in rain, like we're gonna get there. And
let's just say we looked like wet rats by the time.
Yeah, it was crazy, but we got there. And
how is it? That's on my list also.
It's fantastic. The drinks and the theming. The theming's not over the top, but the cast members who serve you the drinks, they'll tell you the story of the villains that come up and they ransack the whole place and all that. So they'll tell you the story of the drinks and all that stuff. So the drinks are like different drinks than you ever have in Disney. Like they're not like the typical drinks you get at the other bars. So, and
it truly is like a cocktail bar.
Yeah.
But they have a bunch of non-alcoholic stuff and snacks for kids.
Yeah. And stuff for kids, and kids love it. And it's up at the top of the world lounge, and you can see over Magic Kingdom. We want to go up there sometime to watch fireworks. Yeah. So that's a perk. And then also the one at Epcot is a extreme perk, because you go into it and you're tired from all the day, and you can go in there and get as much Diet Coke as you want, or Coke, or whatever you like, and just kind of sit up there and relax, get recharged, and then go out. So that's a perk that we like to use.
I wish they had them in all the parks.
Yes.
So nice.
Yeah, they do have the annual pass one in the Lands Pavilion.
That's just at the end of June.
It's just at the end of June. It's pretty much right beside the Living with the Land ride. It's not as standalone as the one in for DVC.
They give us free M&Ms though.
Yeah, you get a free packet of M&Ms. I wish they had those like they had at Club 33 and all the parks.
Yeah.
But they did put one in Disneyland.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
they just added the member lounge in Disneyland. So I'm actually headed to Disneyland in August for a work trip for the agency. And I'm hoping to pop in and go see the new Disneyland villas, because I want to, if they have a show, like a model room, but I want to go check out their member lounge too. So I'll report back on that too.
Yes, you'll need to. I know. I've looked into a little bit, like, what is it like to be a Disney travel agent? Because it seems like I love talking about Disney so much. Do you go a lot for work?
Not necessarily.
You are going. You have trips planned for it. You just haven't accomplished those yet.
Like with the agency?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a Disneyland trip coming up in August, and then a Disney World trip in September. I went on a Universal training trip in February. That was actually my first ever trip to Universal. Which it was so much fun. Harry Potter was amazing. But as an agency, we normally do like a Disney World and a Disneyland trip. And so these will be my first times going on those. So I'm very excited. And then, so there's not a ton of travel like with the agency itself, but I love our group. It's a small little, I think there's like 25 of us. We have a Facebook group where we can ask each other questions and stuff. Like, it's a really good vibe.
There's a lot of research too. So like we'll post about our trips. Like when we go on our cruise in July, we'll post about that, the places that we go. Hey, if you want to stay here, stuff like that. We'll like promote it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys think you'll use your points in California or like some of the other resorts that are not in Orlando?
So part of the reason we bought DVC, this was like one of the lower things on the list, but part of the reason we bought DVC is because I'm dying to go to Aulani. Have y'all been there yet?
It's on my list.
I know.
It's on our list too.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. I want to go there so bad, but I told him, I was like, I'm too much of a penny pincher to be like, yes, let's spend $5,000 on flights and, $8,000 on a room, whatever. And I was like, the only way we're going to be able to go is if we go with DVC. And so that was one of our reasons that we bought DVC. So I do anticipate we will use it at Aulani here in the next coming years. I think our plan is for like probably 2025. We had said 2024, but that's coming really fast.
But things changed with my job.
So it may be 2024, maybe 2025.
And I'm hoping for also.
Yes.
Yes.
We should coordinate our trip.
Yes.
do
How
one
much
trip.
would that be? That would be so fun.
But then I heard him talking about, we did Hilton Head. Love Hilton Head. For us, it's only 4 hours away from here. And
Amazing.
and then another 4 hours to Disney. So it's a great like halfway pit stop.
And a lot of people do that from up north or from other places.
We made friends from Philly and Jersey area when we were there. And they did it. They would come stay. The family we met, they were staying at Hilton Head for the entire month of January. And then we're going to Old Key West for the entire month of February.
They have 900 something.
Oh,
Yeah. It was really
fun.
I was like, that's my retirement goal.
Yes.
But they had all the grandkids and the family and stuff, which was really fun. So we use them at Hilton Head. We want to hit up Vero Beach. I guess now's a good time too, because I feel like we get a lot of questions about like, do you use your points for cruising? And it's like, nope, that's the worst use of points ever. And I feel like not that the guides mislead you, but they're like, oh, you can use your points on cruises. And it's like, when you look at it, that is the least economical way to do it.
Yes, you're better like renting your points out, using the money for the cruise.
Yeah. So we don't plan on using it for anything like that, but
we will go on cruises because
we love
Disney cruises are the best.
Have y'all done a cruise?
That's another thing on our list. I'm hoping to do it this summer. We'll see.
Ooh.
I'm trying to do like a last minute thing. So
Yeah.
Well, you can always
keep you posted.
Okay, let me know.
and you can always come next July. So that's what we're trying to get a bippity boppity Benfields. That's
Like
our
group.
picture.
Yeah.
Like a group kind of cruise.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Which cruise are you going to do in July?
We're doing July 15th through the 20th. So all the listeners, y'all are welcome to come too. Just let us know. So July 15th through the 20th of 2024. It's the new itinerary that leaves from Fort Lauderdale and goes to Castaway and Lighthouse Point, Disney's new island.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So we were kind of back and forth between what cruises we wanted to do. This one's a 5-night, so it's like kind of there in the middle. It's on the Magic, so it's identical to, or not identical, similar to the
The Dream is similar to the Fantasy.
yeah.
Well, they're sister ships. They're the same layout
We're
and
going
everything.
on the Magic.
Oh, we are. Oh,
Yeah, so
Magic
it's
is the
like
same thing as a Wonder.
Okay.
Dream is the same thing as a Fantasy.
Yeah. So I'm excited though. I think
Yeah.
they'll be fun.
Oh yeah. They look awesome. We've been watching tons of YouTube videos about cruising.
They're amazing. They're amazing. So I'd highly suggest that.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about the service at Disney and like the attention to detail from cast members and stuff like that. And like the cruise is even better. And I don't even know how that's possible, but it is. Like
Well,
every night I showed up to dinner, they were like, Miss Miranda, here is your Diet Coke. And here is your gluten-free bread with your gluten-free butter.
Oh my gosh.
I would object, respectfully object to that, because I would say Disney's Hilton Head Island, number one
Oh my gosh.
for
Yes.
service, and the cruise number two, and then Disney World number three, because the Hilton Head Island, you felt like, you were definitely in a small town in South Carolina,
Mhm.
small area, but it felt like you were at home and you got to like sit down and talk with the cast members, have
Yes.
conversations with them. Because I'll talk to a wall. I don't care what,
Also, the amount of activities at Hilton Head, especially like for kids your age, it's great because they do, like, you kind of felt like you were on the cruise. They had literally something like every other hour. Go make a Disney Head Mickey wreath. Go do a beer tasting. Go do trivia. Go for a walk around the park, or go for a walk around the resort with Pluto, because that is the only character you can meet at Hilton Head is Pluto. That is his resort. So it was like some of the most random things, and it was so much fun. Like we found ourselves being like, all right, what's the next activity? All right, we got to do that and that and that. And it was so much fun.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And like you said in the beginning, the points are it's very cheap points, right?
Yeah.
During off season. So during, just so like for some comparison, I had booked one night, I think it was a Saturday night at Hilton Head that I happened to grab. And it was like 27 points for one night in October, which October, you would think like, okay, yeah, it's still like warm, but that's not like your typical beach season.
Yeah.
Where then I found 2 nights in December for, I think it's like December 8th through the 10th or whatever. And I was able to get both nights. So Friday to Sunday for like 21 points. And I was like, well, that's a lot better.
That's great.
So
Yeah.
some like weekends are high, and then like any of the summer months are definitely high. But we went in January last year. We were still in the pool. It was chilly in the evenings and stuff like that. But we went and did the campfire with the s'mores. We still rode bikes the entire time. Like it was great.
Mm-hmm. So that's
Hilton Head is so much fun though.
That sounds good. See, this is why we need more points, because
that's why we need more points as well. So it's like
I want to not go to Disney, but I might have to add this on.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a game. So we're looking to add on at Poly at the new towers.
Yeah.
Our guide is like contacting us, say you'll be the first to know, like from me, when these open and stuff like that. And so that's another thing. He'll call her like and email us and like just see how we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just
So nice. Tell me what you know about the new towers. Do you know if they're having like 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, like that type of thing?
Yeah. So they're going to have grand villas, because I'm pretty sure, because right now Poly doesn't have any of the 3-bedroom grand villas. So I think there's going to be a few of those. The majority is going to be 1 bedroom, since at Poly, your only option is a studio and then those over the water bungalows. So it's going to be a lot of 1 bedrooms,
Nice.
which I think is going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's why a lot of people who have DVC points have avoided Poly, because they're like, well, I'm not spending the points for an over the water bungalow.
Right.
And it's part of our discussion of like buying more points too, because right now without kids, we normally just stay in a studio. It's perfectly fine. Even when we were at Disney last week with our friends and the 3-year-old, which I'll be doing like a whole series of toddler tips and tricks on our Instagram, because I feel like
awesome.
I learned so much. But all 5 of us were in the Riviera Deluxe Studio. it was not cramped at all. We had plenty of room, and like
you can go to the bathroom whenever you want.
And we left the pull down bed down the whole time. Like it was perfectly fine. But we've talked like when we have kids, I would love to do a 1-bedroom because that way we could like cook breakfast and that sort of stuff, have that separation of space. So I think that will be really, really nice. Because I would like to have enough points where at least like for longer trips and stuff, we could do the 1-bedrooms. Right now we could do a 1-bedroom, but we wouldn't be there very many nights because we have 175 points. I'd like to do a 175 point contract at Poly because of the 1-bedrooms. And, you know, since they don't have a gym and stuff, I think there's going to be a new gym in the tower.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Because you have to use Grand Floridians.
Which that is a long walk.
I didn't realize that. That's interesting.
Yeah. And then there are talks of there being almost like a Topolino's or what's that restaurant at the top of Coronado Springs? Toledo, that sort of vibes restaurants, or one of those like vibes of a restaurant up on top of the Polynesian Tower.
Oh, good.
So yeah. And it's supposed to have another pool.
Wow.
So I'm super excited. And like every time we go, I feel like they've made so much progress. So
do you think that the tower will be like a separate contract, or would that be combined with like the regular Poly? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have read and researched this so much and watched like other DVC podcasts and blogs too. And I keep asking them down at Disney. Nobody seems to know. I have a feeling it will be the same though.
That's what I'm hoping since I own there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if they don't, I feel like they're going to make a lot of people mad. Like I would be so mad if I owned Poly but couldn't book those at 11 months, but I'm afraid they'll do what they did with Copper Creek and Boulder Ridge.
And they made that separate, right?
Yeah. And those are separate. And so I don't know. I hope it's the same one though, because from my understanding, and this is all like hearsay, I don't think there's going to be that many studios in the new tower. Like I think it's majority 1-bedrooms. And so I think it would stink to buy there and not have that many options for studios.
These are good points you're making. I feel like hopefully it'll just be one big resort.
Yeah. It'd be nice.
It would be
in a perfect world.
It'd be really nice to be one resort. And then because your expiration year for your deed, is it 2064?
Yes, I think so. Or yes, some 60
or 66 maybe.
I think it's 66.
Because ours is 2070 for Riviera. And so like there's still plenty of time left.
Yes.
So it's not like the old Key West and stuff that are expiring 2042. Like there's still plenty of time. So I think they could add it on to the same one and be fine.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm dying to buy Poly though. Have you had I know you don't eat meat, but have you had the nachos there?
I think we did get the nachos.
They can do some kind of plant-based on top.
It was so good.
Like a jackfruit type deal.
So good.
We love that Trader Joe's, like the grotto.
The Trader Sam's.
Trader Sam's.
Trader Joe's.
We
love Trader Joe's.
We love Trader Joe's.
Haven't had enough coffee.
No, Trader Sam's is like one of our favorite places to go, and that's what we showed the family we just took. We showed the husband. We showed him the drinks. And he's like, "Holy cow, that's actually fun."
Yeah.
So fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun.
We love the pool there and everything. So we love Poly.
Yeah, I love that quiet pool they have at Poly too. That's a nice setup.
So that's our second favorite. But
have you stayed at Copper Creek?
No.
Okay. Copper Creek would
that
probably
was actually one of my tops.
Yeah, I think that'd be my third favorite resort. The Copper Creek. And just like Wilderness Lodge in general. So we stayed there last year right before our cruise. That was like our welcome home stay. And then we stayed at Beach Club for a night when we got off the cruise to like, ease back into real world. And Copper Creek was amazing because the boat to Magic Kingdom, holy cow, so sweet and serene and quiet and peaceful and convenient. And then Wilderness Lodge just has so much. They have so many restaurants, so much food.
One of the best burgers on property.
Yeah,
bison burgers.
Geyser Point Lounge right there on the water. So good. But their pools were awesome. It reminded me very much of like the vibe of the Polynesian pool, but then the quiet pool was a lot of fun too. So that's probably my third favorite resort.
We're big pool people. We like to have a lot of pool time.
We are now big pool people.
Yeah.
I like to relax and give me a book, give me a drink.
Have y'all stayed at Beach Club then? If you love pools,
No, that's my kids really want to stay there.
The
That's
best
the
pool
hard ones to
on
get.
property.
yeah,
The best pool on property, by far. They have a little lazy river that we got talking to a couple there, and just kind of went around for like an hour in the lazy river and just talked to them. And we'll sit, at our chairs, hang out, all that stuff. It's a nice vibe. And the slide there is probably the best slide on property.
oh yeah,
Hands down.
so fun.
I love the slides. I'll take my GoPro down it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like pools, you gotta stay there.
Got to, yes.
I
I
feel
love
like
lazy river.
Yeah.
I feel
That
like
was-
their wait lists do come through pretty often. So you could always try to wait list it for a couple nights. Because
Okay.
we have done it, we do it for like 1 or 2 nights at a time for like, oh, we're going to be at Epcot, since you can walk into the back of Epcot, and like specifically plan, all right, we're doing pool day today. We're
Yes.
that sort of thing. But it's
I'm kind of holding out for like a refurb because we love like the rooms that have the extra bed that pulls down so the kids can have their own bed.
yeah.
And the ones that are the pullouts right now, like just the 2 beds, you know what I mean? There ends up being some fighting. So it's better for everyone if everyone gets their own beds.
Well, that's something that, being on the travel agent side, as well as being like knowing what I know about DVC rooms, as a travel agent for families with kids and especially young kids, a lot of times I actually end up quoting the studios because they have like the actual kitchenette. So they have the microwave and the toaster and all that. And the rooms are the same price. And like when we're talking about Riviera, you have the split bathroom. When we're talking about Polynesian, you have the split bathroom.
Those rooms are awesome.
Yeah. And so like the Polynesian studios have, like you're saying, the pull down Murphy bed and then the flip down like fifth sleeper thing. But like I wanted to quote an Animal Kingdom lodge studio for somebody because they have kids that are 1.5 years, 4 and 6. And I was like, oh, like the studio would be awesome because you have the microwave and a true mini fridge versus a beverage cooler. That is like, I don't know. I'm very passionate about making sure people understand the differences between a mini cooler or a beverage cooler and a mini fridge. But like the mini fridge, that's a big difference when we're talking about like kids need milk and stuff. But like Animal Kingdom Lodge is still the pull out couch. And I'm like, no way dad's going to want to sleep on that for a week. So I ended up Animal Kingdom Lodge, just like the normal room, because it's 2 queen beds. So I agree. I'm waiting for them to finish like the whole refurb.
It makes such a big difference. Yes, those pull-outs are not comfortable.
No, they're not.
The pull downs are comfortable. The Murphy beds are really comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah, those are great. Yes.
Yeah.
Disney,
So
please do those refurbs.
Yeah. Please do that if you're listening.
well, I think they're up for refurb here pretty soon because they're doing Boardwalk right now, and Hilton Head starts in July as well. So fingers crossed when we go in December, we'll get a refurbed room at Hilton Head too.
Nice.
But so I'm hoping that those will be next. Also, like the under the bed storage where you can slide your suitcases. Awesome. So our friend Thomas, the one who came on our trip with us this last time, he was so funny because he's a bit more quiet and reserved. He's like an observer. And so he was like, I got to thinking, like, they designed these rooms really well here because
Yes.
it's a ton of storage. There's drawers everywhere. I mean, 4 adults and a 3-year-old, and they had so many drawers, all of that. Like, our clothes were all put in drawers. Our suitcases were under the bed. We brought an inflatable toddler mattress and actually put her in the closet. Put the bed in the closet.
It sounds crazy, but it was
Oh,
kind of,
no, that's so smart.
it's
Yeah,
kinda
and then
cool.
we
Bedroom.
we kept like the one door shut to act as like a bed rail, and brought her little travel potty to have by it. That way she didn't have to like crawl up on the big potty. And it was like her own little room. And I was like, Nina, do you like your bed that Mickey made just for you? And she said, yes, I love my bedroom. Because she
Oh.
literally thought she was in her own bedroom. So, I mean, even just like the space of Disney resorts, when they do those refurbs and like do the extra drawers and the under the bed storage, like, it is amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
They use the space so well. It's like
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. So when is y'all's next trip?
Next year, we're going to do a big trip with the grandmas and grandpas.
Oh, fun.
That's
And I'm planning on that, but I'm trying to work on something before. See if I can figure out something before that. We'll see how it goes. But, it seems like too long to go.
Yeah. Are y'all going to try to do Polly for that one, or?
No, we love Animal Kingdom, and I feel like we have to do part of it there. Just, there's nothing like having a Savannah room and like seeing giraffes go by.
That's one of the things that we want to do. We haven't done that yet. So
Yeah.
Oh, you have to. That is like, and the pools there we love, and it's definitely, it feels so relaxing when you go. Like, you just feel like you're in another world. If you had a crazy park day, So, but I don't know, maybe a split stay. We stayed.
Riviera.
Yeah, that's. I was like, maybe 2 nights here, 3 nights here. I don't know. We've started doing some split stays recently, and I like it.
I like the split stays.
Yeah.
Feels like 2 trips.
We do a lot of split stays. Our May trip was a little crazy. We did 3 resorts over 4 nights because we had extended our trip. And so we ended up doing 2 nights at Animal Kingdom Lodge, but we were just like a standard view because Savannah wasn't available. Did a night at Polly, and then we did 1 night at Yacht Club for the pool. And that was a little hectic. Don't advise that. But we love split stays because, like you said, you feel like you get 2 trips and like 2 different vibes.
What do you think about 3 resorts for 8 nights? Do you think that would
be fine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be totally fine. And plus, like when you do the split stays, you can give your bags to the bell service, and they'll switch the resorts for you. Like it makes it all easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we always get like Walmart delivery.
Yeah, we always do grocery delivery.
And they'll
That's so
deliver.
great. Yeah.
So that's another great thing for it. But split stays are I definitely like split stays because it gives me something to look forward to. Okay, I'm at this resort now. I get to look forward to the next resort.
Yeah.
Yes. I know you always have to have something to look forward to.
Yes.
What's the other resort y'all want to do for that split stay?
Well, we're thinking possibly start at Animal Kingdom, 2 nights maybe Riviera, and then 3 nights Grand Floridian.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But then I'm wondering if Polly will be done in time. Because then I was like, maybe Polly. I don't know.
Yeah. Have y'all stayed at Grand Floridian?
We did a couple nights there, and we're dying to go back. I just planted all my flowers out here to look like the Grand Floridian.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, we were there in December at Grand Floridian, and that was our first time staying there. We stayed in one of the new resort studios.
Oh, nice.
And I love the convenience of it.
Yeah.
It was so pretty. The DVC buildings there are located, close to the lobby, which is nice. The only thing I didn't love is that it was, I love the space and it was beautiful, but I felt like the Grand Floridian lobby, because it was Christmas time, was always so crazy. I got like stressed having to go through there to go to the bus. I was
Oh,
like, there was always tons of people in there, which I think we went, it was like beginning of
It was
December.
beginning of December.
So we had like leftover Thanksgiving crowds and stuff too.
yeah.
So I would like to go stay when it's a little quieter. It was gorgeous at Christmas. Don't get me wrong. Loved it. Beautiful. But I'd like to go try it again, like not at Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. I know when we went, we usually go end of August, beginning of September. It was
Okay.
quiet. That was a good time.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in September is like the cheapest time for points too, which is nice.
Yeah. It's a good time to go.
I just waitlisted and it just came through a stay for Saratoga for when I go with my agency, because I was like, I don't really want to pay cash for a room. Like we have points left, and I've never stayed at Saratoga, which I grew up with a horse. So I'm very excited about all the horse things.
Yes.
And I know it's big and I know there's like lots of buses and stuff, but
There's a
it
golf
is-
course.
yeah, there's a golf course. So I do love golf. But I also am excited because they're like 1-bedrooms and 2-bedroom villas are great prices.
They are. I know. We haven't stayed there either. It looks like a great place. We actually live in the actual Saratoga Springs,
Yeah.
New York. So one time on our first trip, we went just to see what it was like.
Uh-huh.
And they have a lot of things that are places that we know, and
Oh yeah.
we did a great job with it. I mean, it's
That's kind of cool.
yeah. But part of me feels weird going on vacation to a place where we live.
I know.
You know what I mean? But whatever. I think it looks great, and you can walk right to Disney Springs from there.
Yep.
We have friends that do that a lot. I know.
That's how I felt about Port Orleans Riverside, because just being from North Carolina, I'm like, all right, there's lots of woods
It's just
and
woody.
swamp,
Yeah.
like home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just woody.
I mean, it was gorgeous, but I was like, it feels like home.
Yes. Yes. I know.
That's why I like going to Riviera, because it does not feel like home at all.
Different. I know. That one's going to be next for me.
Yeah.
When you're there, ask to see the 3-bedroom grand villa, because
Oh, at Riviera.
they'll show it to anybody. Like when I went on my mother-daughter trip, I called our guide and I was like, hey, are you working any of these days? Like, I want to show it to my mom. And he was like, oh yeah.
There's a post on our Instagram about it.
Yeah.
And so, and it is almost bigger than our house.
It is
Wow.
in our house.
Our house 1,700, and that's like
I
that.
think it's like 1,000 square feet bigger than our house.
Wow,
It-
I'm gonna
it's
look
not.
for that. Yeah. I love chatting with you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk
Yeah.
this
Thank
morning.
you so much for allowing.
Yeah. Thanks for having
this
us.
opportunity.
Love to stay in touch, and please give me all the ways people can get in touch with you so I can link it here. And yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
We'll definitely give you our link to our YouTube, Instagram, her travel agency,
Yeah.
and all that.
Good.
Thank you so much for having us. This has been so fun.
So fun. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank
You
you. You
too.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye.